Welcome back to our channel. In this video, you will be able to explain the main factors that helped Italian unification, describe the roles of its leaders, and outline the major events that created one united Italy. But before we begin, please like, share, and subscribe for more videos. Let us dive into a huge topic. Lesson 3: Unification of Italy. The unification of Italy was one of the most important political and social changes in Europe during the 19th century. Before unification, Italy was divided into many small states and kingdoms. Some of them were ruled by foreign powers, especially Austria. The movement that brought these states together into one nation is called the Risorgimento, which means rebirth. Most historians agree that Italian unification began after the Congress of Vienna in 1815, which took place after the fall of Napoleon, and ended in 1871, when Rome became the capital of the new Kingdom of Italy. The process took many years and required strong leadership, diplomacy, and courage. Great leaders such as Camillo Cavour, Giuseppe Garibaldi, Giuseppe Mazzini, and King Victor Emmanuel II played key roles in making unification possible. 1. The situation before unification. In 1852, Italy was still divided into many states. The Austrian Empire controlled Lombardy and Venetia in the north. The small duchies of Parma, Modena, and Tuscany were ruled by princes who were connected to Austria. The Papal States, ruled by the Pope, covered central Italy, including Rome, Umbria, Romagna, and the Marches. French troops protected the Pope in Rome, showing that France also had power and interest in Italy. In the south, the Kingdom of Naples and Sicily, also called the Kingdom of the Two Sicilies, was poor and ruled by a harsh monarchy that supported Austria. Only Piedmont Sardinia, in the northwest, was truly independent. It had a constitution, a parliament, and civil rights. These made Piedmont a model for the rest of Italy. Many Italians hoped that King Victor Emmanuel II of Piedmont could unite the country under a constitutional government. 2. Obstacles to unification. The biggest obstacle to Italian unity was Austria. Austria wanted to keep Italy divided so that it could control its northern provinces and influence the smaller states. Another problem was that many Italians did not have a strong national feeling. People cared more about their local region than about Italy as a whole. The Pope and the southern rulers also resisted change because they feared losing their political and religious power. However, after the Crimean War, 1855 to 1856, Austria lost many allies, and tension grew between France and Austria. This gave Italian nationalists a good chance to use foreign help to fight for unity. 3. The role of Count Camillo Cavour. Camillo Cavour, 1810 to 1861, was the Prime Minister of Piedmont and one of the main architects of Italian unification. He worked to unite Italy through diplomacy and modernization rather than war alone. He improved Piedmont's economy, built railways, developed agriculture, and strengthened the army. In 1858, Cavour met secretly with Napoleon III of France at Plombières. They agreed that France would help Piedmont if Austria attacked. In return, Piedmont would give Nice and Savoy to France after victory. In 1859, Cavour provoked Austria into declaring war. France and Piedmont fought together and defeated Austria at the battles of Magenta and Solferino. Austria lost Lombardy, which was given to Piedmont, but it kept Venetia. The Battle of Solferino also led to the founding of the International Red Cross by Henri Dunant, a Swiss humanitarian who saw the terrible suffering of wounded soldiers. 4. Revolts and expansions. Piedmont's victory inspired revolts in other parts of Italy. In 1859, people in Tuscany, Parma, Modena, and Romagna rose up against their Austrian-backed rulers and asked to join Piedmont. This expanded Piedmont's territory and brought the dream of unification closer to reality. At the same time, the Kingdom of the Two Sicilies in the south faced unrest because of poverty and bad government. This created an opportunity for a national uprising. 5. The role of Giuseppe Garibaldi. Giuseppe Garibaldi, 1807 to 1882, was a brave and patriotic military leader. He helped achieve unification from below, meaning through the people's efforts. In 1860, a rebellion began in Sicily, and Garibaldi was invited to lead it. He agreed only if the movement aimed to unite with the rest of Italy under King Victor Emmanuel II. Garibaldi gathered about 1,000 volunteers, known as the Red Shirts. They sailed to Sicily, fought bravely, and soon took control of the island. Then they crossed to the mainland and captured Naples in September 1860. Garibaldi's success came from his great skill in guerrilla warfare, his ability to inspire ordinary people, especially the poor, the weakness and poor organization of the Neapolitan army. By the end of 1860, most of southern Italy supported unification. Garibaldi handed over his territories to King Victor Emmanuel II, showing his loyalty to the national cause rather than personal power. 6. Completion of unification. The capture of Gaeta, the last fortress of the southern monarchy, completed most of the unification process. On February 18, 1861, representatives from all Italian states met in Turin, where Victor Emmanuel II was proclaimed King of Italy. Sadly, Cavour died a few months later, having nearly achieved his life's goal. Two regions still remained outside Italy, Venetia and Rome. Italy gained them later through European wars. In 1866, Italy joined Prussia in the Austro-Prussian War. Even though Italy's army performed poorly, Prussia's victory forced Austria to give up Venetia. In 1870, during the Franco-Prussian War, France withdrew its troops from Rome to protect itself. Italy quickly sent soldiers and captured Rome in September 1870. In 1871, Rome became the capital of Italy, marking the final step of unification. In summary, the unification of Italy took place between 1815 and 1871. Before unification, Italy was divided into many small states, most under Austrian control. Through the leadership of Cavour, Garibaldi, and King Victor Emmanuel II, Italy became one nation. Cavour used diplomacy and modernization to strengthen Piedmont. Garibaldi used bravery and popular support to unite the South with the North. Later wars helped Italy gain Venetia and Rome, completing its unity. Italian unification not only created a new nation, but also changed the political balance of power in Europe. It inspired other nationalist movements and showed that unity could be achieved through determination, leadership, and cooperation. By 1871, the dream of Italy for Italians became a reality. The Italian people were finally united under one flag, one king, and one government, marking the beginning of modern Italy. Review questions. 1. What was the main goal of the Italian unification movement, and what was it called? Answer. The main goal of the Italian unification movement was to unite the many small states of the Italian peninsula into one nation. The movement was called the Risorgimento, which means rebirth. 2. Who were the three main leaders involved in the unification of Italy, and what roles did they play? Answer. The three main leaders were Count Camillo Cavour, who united Italy through diplomacy and modernization; Giuseppe Garibaldi, who united the southern parts through military action and popular support; King Victor Emmanuel II, who became the first king of a united Italy. 3. How did Camillo Cavour use France to help Italy in its struggle against Austria? Answer. Cavour made a secret agreement with Napoleon III of France in 1858 at Plombières. France promised to help Piedmont if Austria attacked. In return, Piedmont agreed to give Nice and Savoy to France after the victory. 4. What was the importance of Giuseppe Garibaldi's red shirts in the unification process? Answer. The red shirts were Garibaldi's group of about 1,000 volunteer soldiers. They helped capture Sicily and Naples, which united the southern part of Italy with the north under King Victor Emmanuel II. 5. When was Italy finally united, and which city became its capital? Answer: Italy was fully united in 1871 after gaining Venetia in 1866 and Rome in 1870. Rome became the capital of the Kingdom of Italy in 1871, completing the unification process. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe for more videos.